Okay, let's see what we got going on here. Let's see what we got going on here today. Where's my headphones? I can't hear nobody. I can't hear. There we go. I can't hear without my glasses. That's not the right thing. Alright, welcome back to the Rookzer0 live stream. Did I start it early? It's 10 o'clock, yeah. I don't know. I don't know if it's early or not. Surprisingly early. Let's set up a new sketch here. Boom. Create that. Copy this. Go to that. Invite all the wonderful patrons to come doodle today. Go back over here. Hit that. And we're going to go live stream. Boop. We're here. I forgot to open the YouTube chat, so that's no good. Pop that out. Pop that out for those wonderful YouTubers. YouTubies? What do you call yourself if you watch YouTube? A viewer? Fair enough. Fair enough. YouTubits? I have absolutely no plan today. Sorry about that noise. That's probably not enjoyable. Boom. Just gotta get some Cthulhu noises in here. I reworked my whole shenanigan yesterday, so I could, the whole shebang. Welcome Andreas, welcome Dave, welcome Drow. So I could try to get some art stuff better, which is good. So I'm gonna draw in red today. No, I'll draw in blue. Let's draw in blue. I'm going to draw a color today. That way people can know what's going on. Yes, I reworked everything, and in the process of doing such, I have forgotten to give myself a place for my microphone, and now it's precariously perched on my desk, and I'm worried it's going to fall on me. So we'll see what happens there. I also have to fix my chair. I had to fix my chair yesterday. It's in super squeak mode. Gonna start off with some. Why would be having a color be weird? You can have a favorite color. Everyone can have a favorite color. I think that's great. Gotcha. I started working with on my daily sketches. I bought a whole bunch of like Prismacolor blue and Prismacolor red pencils. I just bought them in bulk, and I like that. I like sketching with those two colors. Yeah, I don't know. I like sketching in color. I think it works out pretty well. I have an issue with regular like graphite pencils. I just don't like them as much as drawing with the waxy pencils, which is like colored pencils. I just like it better. I like it better. It's a preference thing. They don't blend as much, which is, not my thing. If you've watched any of my videos or looked at my art, I don't blend very often, so I'm very, very happy with lines. And I also think that's why I don't do a lot of pen pressure, because I'm trying to get that waxy feel, which I'm a big fan of. I don't know what I'm drawing. I'm drawing some kind of fuzzy goblin, I guess. That sounds like something I would draw. I saw Joe Cat released a video about goblins this morning, and I watched that, laughed my butt off. Told him I felt personally attacked. I don't think he knows who I am, so that's totally fine. But, oh, no way. Joe Cat's awesome. If I ever get onto the level of Joe Cat, I will, I'll send him a picture or something. Weird. We talked about that yesterday a little bit. We thought, I think you asked me like what it was like having a following, and I hit 2,500 subs today. Awesome. Great job, everybody. Thank you for liking and sharing those videos. That blew my mind. That's fair. If you have to not share videos because you think nobody else would like to hear about weird goblins and me mispronouncing stuff, I totally get that. Share it to people who you think might like it, not the whole world. Hey, check out this foreign guy making art videos. I don't speak that language. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Nice. I am wondering if I should go back to Google translating the transcripts, because I did that for the first couple videos, and what I've heard is that they're not good. So if anybody out there, if anybody's out there wants to add the translations to my videos, I think it's open to do so. Go for it. Feel free to shamelessly make fun of me in the videos, because have you noticed any of the translations that I have done, any of the English ones? I do make fun of myself, so that's totally fine. I'm okay with that. Maybe at the I'm one of those weird people that just has subtitles turned on all the time, and I'm sure people are gonna yell at me. See, that's what I need it for. I have to learn English myself, so I just have the subtitles turned on all the time. I absolutely am a native speaking American, with whatever that means. Yak folk. Yeah, we can draw yak folk. Yak folk. That's kind of what I'm drawing. I'm drawing some kind of minotaur, I guess. I'm gonna change this up so he's got like a big head poof. We'll turn him into a yak. But yeah, I went to school a long time ago. They did not teach English good. I would have loved to have had bi or multilingual classes earlier in my development, because I didn't start taking. Whoa! What the hell just happened? There we go. I didn't start taking other classes until middle school, high school. So like, I think 6th grade. I had a cousin like that. I had a cousin that was being taught. Actually, I think they were being taught Portuguese. I could be wrong about that. I think they were being taught Portuguese and English at the same time when they were really little. And some of my aunts were struggling because they would start talking at them in broken English back and forth without realizing they were changing it. And they'd be like, "What? What?" It just kind of broke everybody's brain. On time again. Nice job, Jacob. Welcome, Gold Tooth. Yeah, I think most little kids have a hard time talking to begin with. So if you give them a second language, it's not. I don't think it's that detrimental. I think they finally understand, like, oh, some people don't know that there are multiple words for things. That's fine. Yeah, I grew up in Idaho, which is, I want to say, I mean, it's part of the continental United States, but it's when I was growing up, especially one of the least populated. I could be totally wrong on that, but I think it was pretty low, and so we really only had. It was very very. I was one of like a billion white kids there. Let's put it that way. It was not very diverse. That's what I'm looking for. It wasn't diverse at all. So, yeah. But at least in Finland, you're close to other countries with languages that are different. Idaho, you can kind of go to Canada, I guess. Kind of. Not really. That's the, yeah. But so I would just say, if you can learn a new language, learn a new language. That'd be awesome. But Portuguese, though, Corvus asks. Yeah, actually, I surprisingly know a few people that are either from Brazil or speak Portuguese because their family is from Brazil. It's kind of weird. Yeah. Oh, I've made a chunky yak boy. No, I think I'm taking up too much room. I don't think I'm going to draw Yak Boy's body, but you can pretend he's super thick if you want. No, this is a Patreon day. We need to give everybody enough room. If I need to make a bigger art page, I can do that as well. Why did I not do that to begin with? This is 3,000 by 3,000, so this is pretty big. The only problem with it, I mean, like, if I make this bigger and bigger, basically we have more resolution, but I'll have to start, like, zooming in. So, like, what's my brush at? My brush is at 5 pixels. So this is about where I start drawing. So that's just... So at this, I could probably, let's see how thick my pen is right here. I think I could probably draw something at this resolution. So I think we could get maybe 5 people, maybe 6 people on here, but we'll see what happens. We'll make room. I'm gonna stay in this zone right here. This is the Rook zone. Just yeet it away. Rookzer0 There we go. Will I play Shadowlands? That is a good question. I do not know. We talked about it. We talked about playing Shadowlands. Yeah, Warcraft, the next expansion. You know, they have to do some drastic stuff for me to really want to play Shadowlands, because I haven't seen it yet, so I'm waiting. I'm waiting until it's closer to come out, and then I'll kind of take a look at it. So yeah, if I do play it, I will play it on release, I think. Well, so the idea, when I play video games, how I play video games is with my friends, pretty much exclusively. I don't play a lot by myself. I don't play a lot of games by myself anymore. So when I played World of Warcraft, it was very much, okay, we have a goal, the 5 of us are going to make a party, and we're going to do stuff. And then once we kind of finish off the storyline, or we've pushed as far as we want to push, and we start getting bored with it, we start losing people, and then it just turns into me logging on every day and like putting stuff on the auction house because I'm a auction house junkie, and then I'm like, I'm basically just playing The Sims at this point, trying to sell my potions every day. So I stopped. So that's the thing. If I do play, I'll probably play with my friends if they like, hey, this looks cool, let's do it. It's like, okay, great. So we have a small group. I'll play with them for the first few months, and then I'll quit because I don't. Yeah, no, we do get burned out on some games pretty quick, but with World of Warcraft, it's usually we play 2 or 3 times a week, just because my My friends have real jobs that I don't. So I do have a real job. A lot of my friends are engineers and lawyers and stuff, and so it's like I don't. I have to. I'm the one with the free schedule comparatively. Yeah. I have a few friends that are teachers. So yeah, it's interesting. I'm the one that didn't have the 9 to 5 job, so I kind of have to play by their rules, which is fine. I keep doing this. Yeah, you should get everybody drawing those snake people today. Yeah, I also ran into that problem where I wanted to play Snake Folk, but I couldn't find a game to play in, and that's one of the reasons I became a DM, so I could start doing that. And so I made a whole bunch of Snake Folk for my players to run into, and that was fun. It was really fun. Yes, gunslinging. Sentient guns on kobolds is really funny. My one of my current players is playing a drow gunslinger, and his gun is possessed by a ghost of a horse. Yeah, there's a really cool item in Pathfinder called what is it? Shadow hoof. It's like a horseshoe. Something, yeah, shadow, something like that. But it summons, or if you put it on a horse, it makes them into like this spectral flamed war horse. I thought that was a cool idea. I'm like, what if it was actually a war horse and it enchanted this horseshoe? And then my friend who was a gunslinger eventually got it, and I was like, maybe it doesn't need the horseshoe. Maybe it's just going to possess your gun. And I thought that was really funny. And so now it's this snappy talking horse that he just runs around with all the time. I had to give the cowboy his horse. That's really where that came from. But he's basically Ghost Rider, but a drow. Actually, that's a good idea. I could make him more Ghost Rider-ish. I should infuse that horse somehow. How's everybody doing today, by the way? How is everyone? I had a fun idea. I was basically going to try to draw some Iron Man armor today. Why will you never use the kobold? Murder hobos is the reason that my kobold gunslinger is dead. I invited all of them to try to discover who was making these firearms, because firearms aren't super prevalent in my universe. But someone started making them. They're like, "Oh, we need to figure out who that was." Turns out it was a kobold. And as soon as they saw him, he's like, "Ah, who are you?" And they just killed him because they're all super powered, and they one-shotted him. And I was like, "Okay, well, that storyline's done." So, cool. Mm-hmm. All right. See it. Thanks for hanging out. Sneaky snakes. Ba-doom, 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 doo, 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 doo. Uh-oh, I closed stuff. There we go. Sneaky snakes. What should we do today? I don't know what we need to draw today. I guess I should just draw more snake folk. More snake girls. I did a lot of different sketches for the Auntie video. Because I wanted to do something that was kind of like Cobra-esque. Because I thought that's a cool look. Excuse me. But every time I did it, it just felt weird. Because you really want to like give him the actual snake face. The snake people from XCOM, yeah, that's a good way to do it. But I also like the humanoid face. I think it's more daunting because when you give somebody the snake face, it's just like, yeah, it's a snake. I get it. It's not scary anymore. But when it's like, oh, that's kind of a person, that's when it gets terrifying. But then how much nose do you give a snake person? A lot of nose? Voldemort style, just like, meh. I just have eyes and then a whole bunch of teeth. Snakes have teeth. Some snakes have teeth. Would they have poisonous fangs or sharp rows of teeth? Depends on the snake. Fangs, yeah. Is there a difference between teeth and fangs? Are fangs always incisors? Are fangs different than the tiny sharp teeth, even if they're tiny sharp teeth? Fangs are... Gotcha. I would buy that. I would buy that. Maybe I don't need those muscles. Maybe that's what's going on. Maybe I just need the neck. And then, like... I feel like I didn't make a Cobra Commander joke yesterday in the video. And I kind of regretted it. And then I thought about it. And I was like, I don't need to make a Cobra Commander joke. It's the G.I. Joe villain. Actually, that's a really good question. Do G.I. Joes get played anywhere else in the world? Was that just me? Knowing is half the battle. That's funny. I didn't think about that. G.I. Joe. So good. Some of them had superpowers. Some of them had gun-based superpowers. Mage thing we talked about a couple streams ago. Oh, your spell is gun? Yeah. I mean, my favorite kind of mage is a stir mage who casts fists a lot. Fist is a good spell. Sometimes you can cast sword. Sword is also a good spell. Block is very self-explanatory, but, you know, you can do it. The best thing about them, though, is they cheat and they don't have to use spell slots. Best kind of mage. Best kind of mage. Is Rook drawing something, or can anyone see it? Is my video not up? Oh, I'm blue. Rook. Did it take a poop? It took a poop, it looks like. Let me see what's going on here. Well, like I said, my system is kind of garbage. So oddly enough, it looks like it's OBS. OBS is having a fit. There we go. I don't know what I did. I literally just tabbed in and out, and it seems to have fixed it. So that's that. Let's see if that's the case. I'm scribbling. Okay. Yeah, I literally just tabbed the window, and it. Let's see if it updates. It might not be updating. It might be having a. There we go. Yeah, it looks like it's going. Okay. Yeah, I'm drawing a snake monster. Yeah. I might need to drop the delay down sometime here. I might need to pump it up too. Jump rope is working today, so I might be stealing the bandwidth. We don't know. Rook is drawing something. Yeah, sorry, I just read that. That's better. Okay, cool. As long as you can hear me. If the YouTube chat goes super quiet, let me know. Because that means something breaks, but we'll figure that out. Everything's gone. Everything's burning. But yeah, I drew a lot of different snake folks. Cobra Commander, I thought would be pretty funny, but didn't do it. Missed opportunity. Yeah, look up Cobra Commander if you don't know who Cobra Commander is. It's this like I did if you'll notice on the Yuanti video, Yuanti? I can't say that right. She's doing this and she's got snakes. And then there's I just basically copied the curve from the Cobra hood from the G.I. Joe logo. That's where I got that arch from. I thought that was a good shape. I was originally like, oh, I love that. I love the G.I. Joe Cobra logo, but I didn't want to just take the logo. And then I'm like, maybe I'll draw my own Cobra. And then I drew a Cobra, and it just looked really dumb. And so I just left the arch. I think the arch was a good design. So there you go. You guys got a little bit of a backstory on how I come up with my backgrounds. I vaguely think about things and put them there. Just Shia LaBeouf it as hard as you can. Just do it. Don't let it be a dream. Just don't let your dreams be dreams. Just do it. Just LaBeouf it as much as possible. Why would a snake person have a whip? There's actually a good story behind that. Snake people are notorious slavers and love making people work for them. You ever been hit by a whip? They hurt, but they're not necessarily deadly. I think that's why they're only a D4. They do hurt, like... They hurt. I don't like it. You heard it here first, people. Rookzer0 doesn't like getting hit with stuff. Cat and nine-tail style. Just put things... You could shorten the whip to give it more power, and then put like a heavy metal ball on the end. And then maybe you turn the whip into a chain, and then take that chained club, and then put a metal bar instead of the chain, and then flatten that bar, and then sharpen the edges, and then the whip does like a D8 worth of damage, because it's a longsword. That's, I think, the best way to use a whip. That was a long... That joke took too long. That was a long joke. Really? See, I thought Morning Stars... well, mind you, I love Morning Stars as a concept. I thought they were kind of useless. Historically, I don't see how a Morning Star would be better than, like, a... Go ahead. Reason they aren't a battlefield weapon. Interesting. Okay. So it's a noob weapon, is what you're saying. You just fling it around. I mean, flails exist, right? A morning star is a very specific flail. Is that a good way to classify it? Morning stars require a lot of strength and control. That's fair, Jacob. See, I thought Skullgrim did a video about Skullgrim. Yeah, I thought he did a video on morning stars and said they were garbage. Did Shad do the video that said they were garbage? I mean, that could totally be. I love both of them, and if they want me to draw stuff for them, I will. Hashtag, please sponsor me. That's my favorite sentence I've heard so far. Is I use YouTubers as a source of information, but I don't blindly follow them. That's beautiful. I think that's great. I think that's absolutely great. And I really appreciate that mentality. Please don't follow my art blindly. Yeah, that's totally cool. I'm not saying I disagree with you or anything. I swear they said that the Morning Star was useless, and I am prone to agree with them because I have tried to make one and hurt myself with it. So it's good because I'm an idiot. They had the possibility to go around the edge of shields. That's true, and they are heavy, and they were designed to pierce through armor. So I could see how they could be very effective. Sure. But I feel like having my issue with it has always been because it has a chain. Yeah, it can reach around things, but at the same time, you don't have that potential to parry. You don't have the potential to. Yeah, let's shoot. Welcome, Bri. Throwing money at me this early in the morning. Well done. Was not expecting that. That is either A, 20 push-ups, or 5 clap push-ups, and I will let Bri decide that. I had decided today to not promote the push-up program, but I will respect it. I will respect the push-up program. Pusher program, yeah. I'm trying to get all my. I actually don't know any drug lingo, so I don't know how I can push my. Someone asked me if I was saying pusher program, and that made me think of drugs. I don't know how to do that with workout. Would I be a? I wouldn't be like a fitness pimp. I was trying to push push-ups on people. Yeah, I don't know. Snake with a lightsaber. Hold on. Yeah. Da, ba, ba, ba. Oh. I was talking to Jump Rope about this earlier because of snakes. So a circle is technically, how many sides does a circle have? Yeah. So a side either has 2, an inside and an outside, which I think is more of like a joke. In mathematics, it can be a curve, and a curve is a thing. But if you're asking about sides, it can be anywhere from, technically this is a low poly surface to an infinite number of sides. How many legs do snakes have? I would argue that snakes either have none or every scale should technically count as a leg because they're pushing off of their own body. For the same reason that there are circles have infinite sides. Yeah, if you're talking about like biological appendages, that's out. That's out. But like flagella and other things of mobility, do the scales count, or is it just their body, like their ribs? Should you count each rib if that's the thing that it's using for mobility? Yeah, it does. It has a lot of ribs. Should those count as their feet? I actually think snakes have vestigial legs. I seem to remember hearing that. They do still have hips. Yep. Can you imagine? I guess that's Trogdor, right? Like, and then little tiny feet. This snake has a tail. Trogdor! You start bringing that biology in here, and then my whole plan just goes out the window. That's totally fair. No, biology is great. So yeah, now we know. Now we know snakes have spine segments, hips, and tail segments. That's great. I did not say that there's not a whip that exists that is not dangerous. I said most whips hurt really bad, but probably won't kill you. That being said, getting hit in the face with a pencil hurts really bad, probably won't kill you. Absolutely could. Absolutely could kill you. Don't get me wrong. Whips are scary. Oh, Drowey's muted right now. Or do I have you muted? I can hear you. You are quiet. Yesterday, that's right. We had an issue with the microphone freaking out. I could not hear Drow this entire time. I am sorry. I can hear you now. Gotcha. Bri, am I doing clapping push-ups or regular push-ups today? Crunches, sit-ups, sit-ups. Yeah, those are different. I could do some bicycles. I'm terrible at sit-ups, so maybe I'll do some of those. I guess I could do that today. Clapping, less arm strain. Clapping's actually a lot harder than regular push-ups, but that's okay. I will do it. I will do a few of those. What? Are you talking about for crunches? I don't know where you posted these links. Got it. I found it. Oh yeah, no, I was just watching a video about these. These things look completely insane. Yeah, the Arumi. I watched a bunch of guys fighting with the Arumi, and every time they swung one of those things, I was like, "Oh, that guy's gonna lose an arm!" And it was. Yeah, bladed whips, not don't do that at home. Never do that at home. That's just not smart. This is the disclaimer song. I can't remember the disclaimer song from Unis Honest. Someone get it was a metal song, wasn't it? We're gonna have to look that up. We'll have to get just, all right, I'm gonna do some push-ups. I'll be right back. Drawing arms, not try. Not tired is important. All right. Here we go. 5 clappy push-ups. I'll do some crunches too, just because. Ooh, they'll slow me down. Okay. I'm alive. I'm good. Decided to get a glass of water. All right, what are we doing? A whip sword. Yes. They are fake. Did anybody watch? Did anybody watch or listen to the Adventure Zone? Amnesty? Amnesty was really good. Whichever one Amnesty was. I think that was season 3. But Whip Sword. Spoilers. Yeah, I'm talking about Beacon. Beacon was a really cool character. I won't say much more than that, but yeah, whip swords, pretty cool. Totally useless. If I had a snake that was also a whip, I don't know what I would do with it. I'd be like, you're weird. I need you to pick whether you're a weapon or a snake, and we will go from there. What was that show? Soul Eater? That was kind of an interesting concept, where people were were both weapons and people. Yeah. I like how you started this conversation with, I hate whip swords, this is dumb. By the way, here's how you play it in D&D. Yeah, I mean, that's not a... what, Ivy from Soul Calibur? Is that her name? It's a saber that is made out of light. I like it. Hard light is a cool concept. Why is that the worst part? I need to look something up. That is a chainsword. That is a magma chainsword. That's not a bad idea. I kind of like that. Medieval. There we go. I don't understand your argument. Please clarify why you must be a human to use a sword. Oh, that's a cool helmet. I dig that. Let's see. If I had to fight like a really pissed off bear, and my choice was here's a sword or your fingers, I would take the sword every day of the week. Can I have a lightsaber to fight the bear? Would you fight? I mean, they seem effective against the Hoth monsters, so yeah, let's. That's not the question. It's not as effective. So you don't want a sword to fight a bear because it's not as effective as a crossbow. My argument would be, why not just have a rocket launcher? That seems pretty good against the bear. Or so I think that makes your point invalid. Your point is invalid. I've played enough Monster Hunter to know that you can kill anything with anything as long as it's made out of the parts of the thing you're trying to kill. That's what I've discovered. So that's how that works. So you want to kill a demon, you need a demon sword. That's directed questions, my friend. Directed questions. I kind of hate this helmet now. I totally see where I jacked it up. Because I'm trying to get the curves right. That's cool. If you're not watching the stream, it's fine to just not watch the stream. Let's put nothing is going on. We're arguing about stuff that means absolutely nothing. If that giant sword is made out of giants, it's really good for fighting giants. That's how it works. That's how all fighting works. That's why if you're going to get into a bar fight, you just punch the guy. Fist weapons are the best against people because they're made out of people. Because you're playing a game and you're not paying attention. Every time you tab out of YouTube, it does tend to pause your stream a little bit so it can get out synced. Things can slow down. Why did I do this? This is not how this helmet looks. Okay, so I'm gonna break this down. I'm trying to draw this helmet that I found online. A 20 15th century closed helmet. In stock right now from the Dark Sword Armory. Item number 2211. And I can't draw it for some reason. I don't know why I can't draw it. Like it's got a helmet shape inside of it. Good. Now that I've broken you, I want you to think about your ways and reevaluate your use of deciding which sword to use in combat. Might save your life someday. Okay, so we have the helmet shape. I'm gonna have the eye line here. I only play in fantasy worlds that are based in reality. How long term do you need the service? Why am I reading like this? I don't know what's going on here. How long term do you need the service of a god of chaos, though? Whoa, what did I miss? Question in chat. Ensnare a primordial god of chaos. Fair enough. There you go. Dragon Ball Z is the answer. I asked because I'm writing a block and I needed brain helps. If you're struggling to figure out how your characters would trap a deity, do they need to trap a deity? Is that essential to your story? Because if they don't have the means to do it, it sounds like you're adding a whole bunch of new things to it. Like looking at the Dresden books, basically all of the magic in that is somewhat rooted in basic knowledge. So like the small things can be scaled up to the big things because to catch a fairy is the same thing to catch a god. You just have to change some of the parts of it. Does that make sense? Yeah, you just have to make it bigger. You just have to make it bigger and use demon parts. So you have to get a piece of a chaotic god and then build a bear trap out of it. That's how you do it. Hey, I don't know how you get a piece of a dead god. That's not my jam. My jam's just making the trap. That's a you problem. That's something. I do love the Dresden books. I gotta get those. Okay, let's. Consistency is I think a good, important aspect of pretty much everything, actually. Most things creative, when things stop being consistent, it's when they start feeling bad. Writing a creation myth where the chaos god is trapped and becomes the elemental chaos. If you're writing the creation myth, maybe you don't need to. You just need to say that it was trapped or was trapped by someone, or what's the important part of that? Because with creation myths, you don't always have to know the full details, unless that's important to your story. That's why I'm asking: do they need to be able to trap these things? Is trapping things somehow relevant, or is it just that there was, look at the. They're playing Pokemon. I used my trap card. He lost a game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And is now permanently trapped. Can a person with dark vision be able to see through a pair of binoculars more than 60 feet, or is it just saying it can go? It depends on your definition of dark vision, because dark vision in original D&Ds was closer to infravision, which in that case, no. you would see the temperature of the glass, not see through the glass. Yeah, and that's why you need to define what type of dark vision you have and what issue of the game you're playing. In 5th edition, I think dark vision is just the ability to see in low light. Like, yeah, some elves and some orcs, I think, still have infravision, so... Wait, in 5th edition, elves are blind in non-magical areas? Or in... Huh. What? I have never heard that before. That's crazy. I have got to look this up. That sounds awesome. I mean, that seems like an excessive use of the yeah, an anti-magic shell or an anti-magic zone when really you could just cast like deeper darkness. Be done with it. Yeah, Drow can usually cast darkness which is just lowering the light level by 1. But then if you take the extra feats to be like a noble, you can get deeper darkness, which pushes it further and counts as magical darkness. So that one's pretty cool. 5th edition, yeah, I could see it being different. Once again, depends on the I really like Drow. Okay, I just wanted to know. Yeah, no problem. So that's been kind of my issue with D&D. Like, and once again, I love D&D, obviously. I play it all the time. I play different levels. At the end of the day, it's really up to your DM, your choice, and what you're playing. So I think there are a lot of questions people ask, like, can I do this? It's like, well, the book says this, but there's another book that says something different. And at the end of the day, it's not my decision. It's your DM's decision. So I actually absolutely think I would say if your character has infravision, no, you can't look through binoculars. Just because that's a cool kind of side effect of being able to see in the dark. But once again, it's up to your players, or up to your DM. Yeah, you would. It's the same thing. Like, you can't read paper most of the time unless there's like a difference in the texture on it. Or sorry, I said that backwards. God of Chaos doesn't get trapped, but traps themselves through their own mistakes and hits them in chaos. David, I think you're done. I think that's. Oh wait, Jake, is Jacob asking the question? He is. Okay, David, I think that's a cool way to do it. That the Chaos God traps himself, and like that's enough explanation for me. It's like, wait, what? What happened? That's a cool concept. Yeah. What happens if you turn yourself into a bag of holding and then climb into another bag of holding? Is that a free teleportation to the to the astral sea? So that's like a. Every now and again, I'll have somebody like, I'm going to put him in a bag of holding, and I always think to myself, should I ask them to check if they have a bag of holding on them before they do this? How important is this that I just destroy what they're doing at the moment? I mean, No, I take it back. Whatever happened. I'm so sorry. I really, I mean, I'm getting ahead of myself. Really, that's a flavorful thing that I think is invented to. You can't put 5 bag of holdings in a bag of holding to have infinite space. But at the same time, like, I'm really lax on those kind of rules. The universe implodes. Have you ever read any of the Dritz books? I was talking on YouTube with someone. I think that might have been. I might have been talking to Goldtooth. His spectral shadow tiger, panther. Is it a panther? It's a panther. Got its weird shadow powers by being resurrected inside of a pocket hole and then turned into a statue. It's like the most batshit crazy alchemical insanity that I think I've ever heard in a fantasy setting. But I was just like, that's amazing. Can we reproduce this with like an elf? I'm a rogue, and I would like to do crazy magical experiments on myself to try to become shadows. It's like I just thought that was really cool. And I think that is really the kind of the core of D&D. Like, that's the kind of stuff that people should be doing instead of arguing over whether or not morning stars are effective weapons. It's like, how can we turn this into something that's so simple but also completely insane? And I like it. Shadow Panther. Most of the time, I would agree with you that a polearm is a great weapon, but I think we could not argue and talk like normal people. That'd be great. I too love a good polearm, though. Spears are great. I think there's a. I'm going to get yelled at later. I think there's a bit of a min-maxing, like, self-challenge that a lot of people get in D&D. And so a lot of people gravitate toward polearms and glaives for reach and for just bonus damage and versatility. And I've done that in the past, but yeah, I don't know. I like the idea that there are some characters that just don't have to do that. And I think if you haven't played a purposefully non-min-max character before, you should definitely give that a try, because they're a lot of fun. I say with my ninja who has 42 in stealth. It's definitely a place for both. Oh, gotta stretch. Okay, so I think, somewhat reproduced this. I'm going to drop this image in the chat. Copy image. I'm going to drop this in. I'll just put it in the voice channel. No, I'll put it in references. I think that makes more sense. Yeah, we're in voice channel. I'm going to go to voice channel. So this is what I just used for reference. For our live stream. And this is what I came up with. It's not exactly the same. But like I liked this curve, so I tried to keep that. I liked this kind of shape. That's what I was pulling from the helmet. I liked this like little bit of extra detail down here. And if I continued with this, I would probably, now that I've done this study, I just like kind of wanted to see if I could keep that. I would probably get rid of this. I'm not a big fan of this. I think this is really important, and I would probably shorten this up. And that's how I use reference when I go for reference. I know that was out of the blue and kind of off topic, but what if it's a trap for zombies? What? I got a code campaign tomorrow on Sunday, and I got the excellent trap to take out zombies. Nice. I just finished watching Kingdom. That's a pretty good series. But yeah, so now I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna try to make this into my own helmet. That's how I use reference. What, the helmet? Maybe that could be a good way of explaining the Shadow Kai. I mean, this is a Shadow Magic 2 and infected their blood, returning the conversation with Shadow Panthers. Nice. Yeah, Corvus. That's a good way to look at it. I think that's how a lot of the unique races can kind of be talked about, especially like variants. I think it happens naturally. That is a gator sword. That is interesting. Oh, is it a... So it is supposed to look like an alligator. That's funny. With arrows already pre-coated with rags of oil. Rages of oil. So I could ignite them and release them down there on top of the zombies. They would go into realistic dummies. That's an interesting use of like creating your own items, which there's like a lot of cool ways to do that. And I like my characters coming up with cool ways to make stuff. And so if all you want to do is light something on fire, I think that's an effective way to do it. I don't know if it actually worked in real life, and I'm okay with that. But I'm a big fan of letting people try to be creative and then finding ways to bring it back to the game mechanics. So with that, I would say no bonus extra damage, but have the possibility to light flammable things on fire. I know you didn't ask that, but that's where I'm at. That's where my head's at today. Rages with oil. A rage arrow. I've made rage potions before. One of my Finney's my alchemist, who is also the basic potion vendor in all of my campaigns. What I've started doing is I make NPCs that are like cross campaign, and then if the NPCs sell stuff to them, I will sell them to other people in other campaigns. But so I got a ring of potion injection, which allows you to basically consume a potion and inject it into a person. That's a real item. It's a real spell too. But so then I would make rage potions, just walk up to people and be like, go, and just send them into like a minute long frenzy. I thought that was a pretty fun idea. Yep, injection ring. No, it's just it's a magical item. Gun swords. I have never come across a gun sword. And seeing as how Final Fantasy VIII was the worst one, probably not. I would probably allow them, to be totally honest. I've had somebody like want to affix a bayonet to their weapon. I've had a gunslinger be like, "Can I put a bayonet on here or something?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you know what? I'll allow it, but you're gonna take like a -2 to your aiming as long as you have it affixed. Like there has to be some. I'm not just gonna let you be like, oh, this gun also does melee damage, and you now no longer have to worry about switching from range to melee, because like." And that is the point of the bayonet. I'm totally fine with that. But in Pathfinder, like you have to spend a grit point to pistol whip somebody without taking negatives. So I'm like, if you want to be able to do that, we're going to meet in the middle somewhere. And if you affix the bayonet and shoot, you're going to take negatives. And I think that's really how you should look at crafting items. Just like the oil rags. Like, just trying to get an arrow to light is something different than like, I want this arrow to just go and blow up and kill people. It's like that's going to take some like crafting to make a fire arrow or an explosive arrow. So I think that's really how you should talk about crafting things in D&D and Pathfinder. So a gun sword, sure, you could totally make one of those. You could find one. I want my sword to be able to fire one, explosive fireball blast, but I don't want it to be magical based. I want it to be gunpowder based. You're going to have to craft that, but I think that's a cool idea. Gun swords in real life are basically just like, instead of putting a bayonet on a gun, you're putting a gun on a sword. I still I don't know how to stand on gun swords. I would probably say no, but if you want to put your gun near your sword and then use, then sure. Maybe an elaborate pulley system to puppet the dummies. All right. I'm gonna. I don't see the functional necessity for a gun sword when you have. Right, but that's my argument with gun swords is that you're taking the heaviest part of the sword and the heaviest part of the gun and removing the little piece of wood. So like you might as well just have a sword and a gun at that point. I think the axe blunderbuss is a good way to go because you get one shot and then you have an axe. Like that's great. But I feel like yeah, maybe just unless you're like a one-armed pirate, you probably can just have one in each hand. Which is what I underestimate the weight of a medieval gun. I don't see how that's relevant to my argument. Okay, so you're saying medieval guns were lighter. I still don't see the necessity to attach it to a sword. Because you could just have both. It's not saving you space. It's not saving you weight. It's not. It's the e-peen of the 18th century. Having a gun on your 19th century. It's like those survival shovels. That's really what I'm equating this to. It's like, it's compact and it's multi-tool. It's like, yeah, but it sucks. Because it's not going to be as good as having a shovel or an axe. I'm good. I'm done arguing today. Change the subject. No more gun swords. Gun swords was a bad topic. Final Fantasy VIII sucks. Just putting that out there. Mind you, Final Fantasy VII, great. 9, great. 10, 11, pretty good. 12, I could. 10-2. 15. I haven't played 15 yet. That's oddly enough. I should play Final Fantasy 15. I can't hear you. I heard you say, I know I'm not going to talk about gun, and then it just disappeared. Like nothing, whatever came out of your mouth just vanished. It's really weird. No more undirected questions because you're just stirring the pot. Stirring the pot. I think conversations should be well directed. I'm just gonna start deleting these gun swords. Just vindictively deleting stuff from the Discord. Get out of here. What else did Andreas post? Let's get this. Is gone. Actually, no, I like that one. That's a cool gun sword. We can leave that one. I think the top one. I think the top one's actually kind of cool. It's completely impractical, but I like the. Someone's just like, I need my sword on my gun. I think that's funny. Oh, jeez. As we already all agreed on that minutes ago. We all agreed to stop talking about it. It's still going on. Everybody in YouTube, if you want to continue to hear a conversation about gun swords, you're welcome to join the Discord, because apparently it's going to go on forever. If you want to play any Final Fantasy games, go with Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, 10, and 12. 14, that one's online. 11 and 14 are not bad. They are online, like MMOs. They're not bad. They're not great. They're a little slow compared to a lot of other MMOs, but the art design, the music is great. Yeah, definitely worth playing a little bit, I think. They might be a little dated now. If you want to go old school, go Final Fantasy 1 through 6. Yeah. Old school. Oh, yeah. You know what I need to draw? I need to draw some Moogles. Moogles are great. Nothing beats a good black mage. Whoop. I've done a few sieges in D&D, and they're pretty fun. I think something you need to work on for sieges is basically how you're going to deal with multiple units, and that can either be like through what's it called? I can't remember now. So the discussion has gone to never make your players the commanders in a siege. I did a really fun campaign once where I actually got the Hero Quest board out. I don't know if anybody's ever played Hero Quest. Yeah, me too. First, really good place to start RPGs. But I put the board out and I gave them maps that I printed out of the board. And I was like, okay, here are your resources. You can hire goblins. You can hire orcs. You can raise skeletons because one of them was a necromancer. And I'm like, you guys have to defend this. You know people are coming. You have like 4 days until the city above starts throwing. Yes, draw us a black mage Moogle with a cool looking staff casting fire. It's a little specific, but I will do it. I will definitely do it. 10 more push-ups. I have to do 10 more push-ups. That's true. But yeah. So I made them kind of in charge of these little armies. And then as soon as the fight started, I'm like, okay, on your turn, you can dictate orders, but I'm going to play all of these creatures. And so that was really fun. That was a really fun combat. But if... Yeah, and that's... I've seen a handful of Matt Colville play things online. Those are pretty good. Oh, that's kind of cool. Sounds like, yeah, I can't really reiterate all that. Did you know where that came from? Gotcha. If you guys don't know who Matt Colville is, I highly recommend checking him out on YouTube, checking him out on... I think he's got a pretty active Twitter. Yeah, I think sieges can be a lot of fun. I really think you should stick to basically not letting them control units, but fighting the battle itself as units. All right, we're going to take a 10-minute break. Everybody break out your Warhammer figures, and we're going to siege this castle. Here we go. Just bring in other games. Oh, I've done that before, actually. Like, if someone wants to sign a demon contract, I make them play a card game against me, or I've actually played poker with some of my players, being like, "Oh, we're gonna play a game right now." Like, you want me to recite the entire rules for poker? Yes, but no. let me explain. Should I put his ears? Should I put the Moogle ears? Brian, why you hate me so much, making me do push-ups? Oh, Brian. I'm sorry, I said Brian. Going to the grocery store, shopping after this, and more. How is shopping? How's everybody doing with their shopping? Is everyone doing all right? 17, 18, 20. All right. 30 push-ups. 30 push-ups done. Oh, hell, I forgot. Dang. That's all right, Brian. Oh, okay. You don't do puzzles. If your group doesn't like puzzles, don't put puzzles in your game. You don't put fighting in your game. Are you purposely being... Yeah, that's totally fine. Okay, so the question was, what do you do if your players don't like fighting, blood? What was the other one? Fighting, puzzles, and blood. It sounds like you're going to be playing Persona. It's just everything. It sounds like your friends don't want to play D&D. If you're having difficulty writing a story that your friends don't like, Can I talk now? Can I talk on my live stream? Would that be okay for everybody in the Discord? If you are having trouble with your party finding a story that works for them because they have specific issues, I'm winded because I just did a bunch of push-ups. I'm not discouraged by this. I do need a drink though. That was a lot of push-ups. Brian's turning Rook into a swole Rook. Yep. I'm gonna be beefy. If you're having trouble writing a campaign for your players, it might be that you are disconnected from your players. And the thing I've discovered, especially if someone's not having fun, is you might need to talk to them about what they want to do. And if you have to write a really railroady campaign to match that, that's a thing that you might have to do. Yeah. So it sounds like if that's what's going on, then they either need to be the DM of their own game, or it might not be the right campaign for them. I have had a few people that are just like, I don't like how this player is playing. I'm like, well, you can talk to them about it. I can talk to them about it. And if neither of you want to change, then you two shouldn't be playing in a campaign together. That happens. A lot of people get discouraged about that. They're like, oh, 3 of my 5 players don't like playing with these other players. It's like, then they shouldn't play together. Like, it's okay to break up that kind of not all players are meant to play games together, and not all characters are meant to play in the same games together. So sometimes you just got to figure out what you got to do. I'm going for the Vivi hat because I like him. Her. The robot mage. Is Vivi supposed to be a guy or a girl or not? I never remember that. Oh, really? Okay. I like Vivi. I like the black mage from the older games and Tactics. That's why I gave the scarf. I really dig the huge cloak scarf sleeve thing. Now Moogles, where do I put the bauble? Moogles have a barbel that I'm gonna poke through the hat here. Yep. Vivi's hat has a cut in it. I don't think it has a mouth. I think you might be thinking of the Sorting Hat from Harry Potter. They're pretty close. But yeah. I think it was supposed to be, and it didn't really go by the gender unless you go by Kingdom Hearts 2, and apparently it's a male. Okay, that's fair. I really liked Vivi as a character. All right. I've stolen most of the space. So, Gabriel, sorry about that. I will try to move over here. Whoop. We've been commissioned to draw Moogle black mages, if that tickles your fancy. Absolutely no idea what a Moogle is. I do like me a good Moogle. Are the baubles shiny or are they furry? They look both ways. That's no bueno. It's a Moomin. It's a Moomin that's also a catfish. That's yep. Draw a Moomin that is also a catfish. That's a Moogle. with the duck mask. That sounds good. Sure. No, that's fine. Andreas, you are totally fine. I did have to call you out and stop you because I had the YouTube stall. Too much. But that's okay. It's okay to get passionate about stuff, but sometimes in a group setting you gotta tone it down. Yeah, that's fine. Like I said, it became an issue and I brought it up and now it's fine. I think you're good. So other people don't agree. Gotta rein it in. Dang it. I've got an art issue now. I really like this, but a Moogle's arm is really only like this long. So I could either fake it and put his arm out here, which would then make him like this noodly Moogle. Or I can change the cloak. I think I have to change the cloak. Yep, it's a change the cloak thing. And that's how art works. That's how art works, everybody. Sometimes you just got to make the call. Boop, boop. There we go. Okay, I go. I was just hatched. I was just hatched from my snake egg with the sword. And now I have to battle. Do snakes raise their young? I don't remember. I can't remember if snakes are... I assume... Yeah, I assume you meant any species of snake. That's what my assumption was. But did we just have a breakthrough about some people's parents? I don't think anybody raises their children. That's not right. Okay, get the staff here. Make them some. Maybe snakes are just innately born knowing how to use swords. just like knowing how to swim and stuff. I was born with sword. Sword is family. I think humans do. Yes, humans are born with the ability to hold their breath underwater. That's innately born with us. But I don't know if they're born with the ability to swim. It's like dogs can swim when they're born, but I think that's because they're buoyant. I think dogs just passively have more buoyancy than humans, and they really only have the one mode of translocation, and it just happens to work underwater. If feet work, then swim work. Moogles don't have tails, do they? No. I'm going to go like this. Give them a little robe. Coopoo-poo! That's all Moogles say. Coopoo! That's what Mughals say all the time. It's literally the only thing. I mean, they talk in full sentences, but as soon as you meet them, they always go, "Is it K-U-K-Poo? Kapoo? Kapoo-poo? Oh? I don't know. I have to look it up. Cookapoo. I gotta go to Google for this. What do Mughals say? Meow. They say meow. What? Bull crap. The Japanese onomatopoeia for cats. Why do Mughals say kupu? Derived from the name of it, Mughal characters. Oh. What does the Mughal say? Apparently they like to eat kupu nuts. Hey, we're learning things about a different fantasy realm. That's cool. So really, it's a question. They're asking for nuts. Kupu? You kupu? You got kupu? You spice? Oh, he's supposed to be casting fireball. I forgot about the fireball. Boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. All right. Sword is love, sword is life. Is this a sword? Did you say every goblin is a little young Karen? Carrying. That is not the that's not the use of that in my lexicon. That's weird. Like a middle management. I guess so, yeah. I'm definitely. Yeah, I could be a boomer. You don't know. It's a secret. That probably is true. It's probably true. I'm a weird dude. Let's just put it that way. Whoop. Oh man, yeah, I don't know how old G.I. Joe is. That's a long time ago. I don't know. Yeah, I think that was 90s. But I also watched Gravity Falls, so I could be like 14. Because Gravity Falls is amazing. That's true. I have. That's partially true. That is partially true. In America, that's actually up to the states to decide that. And so you can be under the age of 21 and work in a restaurant, or a place that serves alcohol. But if you want to work behind the bar as like a bartender, you do have to be 21. So, which I do not work behind a bar, so there's more. And so if you want to work in a kitchen, yeah, you'll have to be 18, I believe. I think you can work in a kitchen less. There's just limitations. Okay, I need to steal a little bit of space because I didn't have enough room to draw my fireball. It is a Moogle Black Mage. Goldtooth has propositioned the Google Fire Mage, the Moogle Fire Mage, the Moogle Googles. Final Fantasy 11 was a lot of fun. I talking about that earlier. A lot of fun. I think you're going to ask it regardless. Go ahead. No, ask the question. Ask the question. I derailed. How do I draw from memory? Drawing from... Oh, who's the... Oh, dang it. I can't remember the guy's name now. There's a guy that draws super crazy realistic stuff, just like at the drop of a hat. Okay. He has a lot of really good talks about that, about drawing from memory. And really what it is it's building up a visual library in your head. So... Yeah, okay, that's a good question. Where do you start building up that reference drawings? Is where you start from that. And so, like, for this, I went and I just typed in Moogles into Google. And I looked at, like, 40 pictures of Moogles. And I typed in Black Mages. And I found a bunch of pictures of Vivi. And so that's where this came from. So I had the idea of, like, I know I wanted to draw a Moogle. And I know they're, like, these little chubby things. And I wanted to draw a pointed hat. And then I went and got reference. So that's my build process of, like, where's my concept? What do I want? And then what references do I need to make that happen? Like, these folds are just whatever, but this hat shape, that's Vivi's hat shape. Like, this cut here is in Vivi's hat. And then, like, the ears coming through, that's unique. This coming through, that's pretty standard Moogle face. Like, if you type Moogle into Google, they all look like that. That's just that's just what they look like. So I didn't have to pull that from my head because the reference exists somewhere. But I just knew I wanted to have a Moogle doing that. It's really, if you want to start building a visual library, it's a lot of photo studies, which is what this was as well. Why is that now transparent all of a sudden? There we go. Like this, I didn't design this. This is that helmet that I posted in the reference. So... Not Rook's, not mine. Didn't do that. But I did that so I could start playing with it. And now I've got that shape kind of in my head. Like, okay, I see how this curve works. I see how this curve works. I don't really like it, and I made it like this. But it's still... This is from my head because I had this reference. So photo studies are really, really good. You just don't do a photo study and then be like, look at this helmet that I made completely up by myself. That no one helped me with. It's like, that thing exists. like that's totally fine to draw it. I drew it. I drew a helmet that exists. But I probably wouldn't use this for, like, unless someone specifically said for their commission, like, I want this type of armor, I would, do something weird with it. But that's how references work. And so this is the one that was in my head because I've seen so many Moogles. This is what my original thought was. And then now this is what it's turned into. So, yeah, I hope that helped. Gotta get those art lessons, yo. The helmet on the bottom looks like a Dragon Age armor. More than Mass Effect 2. I could definitely see that. It's a little too jaggedy. I'm still not super happy with it, but we'll see where it goes if I ever draw that helmet again. No! I gotta shrink it. There we go. I think we're done. I think we're done with the Moogle, though. I think this is a good little Moogle. I think his staff is too long. I'm gonna make it short because he also has to have his little wings. He's just floating about. Yeah, they got little bat wings. Yeah, they are very much Moogle inspired. I had an idea pop into my head today. In your imagination, what do you think of a wild magic elemental would look like? Is it the elementals actually wild magic? Like it's a wild magic elemental? That's an interesting idea. I feel like it would just look like a trubbish. That's what I feel like a wild magic art. Just like it's just a bag of garbage with like fairies and pixies flying out of it. I could be anything. Woo! Does the wild magic have a chance to change your elemental type? I would need to look at a wild magic chart, I think, because that's a cool idea. Ace suggested that it would be like a combination of all the other elements, which that is a cool idea if it changes the type of element, and that I think in itself could be like a prismatic elemental. I like that idea a lot. For wild magic, though, I keep thinking of Dingo turning, or not Dingo, Joe Cat turning. Dingo Doodle also uses wild magic a lot, but Joe Cat turning someone into a potted plant. That's what I keep thinking of, which is why I think of a trubbish. Because it's just like, I'm going to cast Fireball. Ah, I'm a suitcase now. Blah. It's just like the Raiders of the Lost Ark box. That's a cool idea. Don't look at it. Don't look directly at the wild magic. Boop, 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 boop. Or like Ghostbusters in the Ghostbusters. If you ever get two wild magic elementals together, it just blows up. Don't cross the streams. I just thought of the most innocent thing I could think of. Toasting marshmallows. All right, I think the Moogle is done. I'm going to go ahead and try to sign this real quick. And then I'm going to save this. Jones, do you mind if I steal the canvas for a second? Thank you. Drawing, save. It's actually been pretty good about saving out the PNGs, so that's pretty cool. Yeah. Okay, it's all yours. We'll turn the Moogle off. I like how he came back confused. What happened? Turn that layer back on for a second. That was perfect. I don't know if I have the picture of wild magic as an actual thing. And it would probably be like an old naked wizard from Adventure Time, just casting magic everywhere. That's a good point. Yeah, you could just draw. Oh, what's his name? Magic Man? Can't believe I forgot the name Magic Man. What's that magical dude's name? Magic Man! Alright. Elementals. It's just an orb. It's just like a prismatic orb, just floating. But it's menacing. Oh, you're gonna cast that spell? Really? It's just a ghastly. Apparently, wild magic is just a Pokemon. Sorely void of a head. That's actually kind of a cool deal. I like that. It makes me think of... sorry, Brian just suggested... Brian. I keep saying Brian. I don't know why I keep saying Brian. Brian suggested a vaguely human-shaped sort of swirling head. That makes me think of the guy from Dead Cells. I like that idea, though. Where it's just kind of like super vague spiral head. You can do that. I think that's a cool idea. And we can give it like some kind of body. I'm gonna look up a wild magic chart. I think that might be kind of a cool idea. Sorcering 101. Okay, let's see. Let's roll some dice. Let's roll some dice and see what's going on. Oh, where's my D10? It's no good. I gotta get a D10. I'll be back. I think eventually I'm gonna have to do a video on how to read percentile dice, because I feel like that argument pops up all the time. Ha! All right, 70. Straight up 70. Each creature within 30 feet of you becomes invisible for the next minute. So, done. Fantastic. 98. Ooh, that's a good roll. What's a 98 get me? You're surrounded by faint ethereal music for the next few minutes. So that's like this, I guess. Just gotta turn. Oop, that's the moo moo cow. So we just got some music notes. Wild magic, I choose you. That's a great way to think about it. These all seem like status effects. 55 instead of actually like. Your hair falls out and grows back within 24 hours. What? It is a ghastly. It just like messes with your head. It makes you real weird. 80. Illusionary butterflies and flower petals flutter in the air with around 10 feet. Okay. No, the wild magic is missing gnome. Okay, no, I got it. Thank you. The missing gnome instead of missing number. Thank you for pointing that out to me. That is a good joke. That is a great pun. A ditto, yes, is a mimic. But I think a ditto would actually be... It'd be more like a doppelganger. To be fair, though, if you're those are great. Is that just a tall goblin? Kind of want to get like a spirally magic. I think trying to inherently compare dittos to anything D&D is not going to be great because dittos don't make any goddamn sense. It's just basic. It's like lazy writing from the end of a fighting game. It's like, what if the final fighter is just all the fighters? It's a great job. Okay, the Shadow Link scenario. Yeah, welcome to every other game ever that ever existed. What better way to challenge the player than the player themselves? Only our coding isn't so great, so it's going to be really dumb and it doesn't have any of your equipment. the Ocarina of Time Shadow Link was tough. It was real tough. It did. So if you, yeah, I think that was a coding problem, but yeah, it was. Because you basically had to use AoE moves, otherwise it's just like, it's just going to copy your exact moves and make you impossible to do anything. It's like, that's okay. It was a good fight, but I don't know if they intended it to be that difficult. Oh, the adventure? Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. And you actually had to like trick them into walking around because they were mirroring you. Oh, I totally forgot about that. That is a good point. Yeah. The last guy you had to fight yourself, and then when he switched back, did he go invisible? Man, it's been a while since I've played that game. So there are a lot of top-down Zelda games I've played, and now they're all blending together. Definitely, I would recommend Zelda games. I think they're usually really well designed. I'm trying to think of a few that aren't, but Breath of the Wild is a solid game. They just re-released the Link's Awakening, really good, for the Switch. Link to the Past is great. Yeah. Skyward Sword is another good one. Link Between Worlds is an interesting one. It's for the DS, or is it for the Switch? Not the Switch. The 3DS. There we go. Yeah, because that was that one before? That was before the Wii U, but I think you can get it on the Wii U. Yeah. Because I think I bought it for the 3DS, and then I played it on the Wii U when my friend brought it over one time, and I was like, oh yeah, I have this game. We should play it. But yeah, that's a good game. That's a really good game. They spend a lot of time really making the level design in the Zelda games like function really well. So I'm always happy with Zelda games. I think the one I was least happy with was Wind Waker. Part of that was because Wind Waker was the first like cell shaded style, and I just wasn't a big fan of it. And then the game itself, there's a lot of downtime just like riding the boat in a direction, and you're like, okay. So I think that was kind of their first big tackle of making a huge open world, and I don't think it was as successful. Twilight Princess had a little bit of that issue with the horse, because they're like, the world's really big, and you're like, yeah, the world's a little too big, but it was better, and I think they did a lot better with Breath of the Wild. So I think yeah. Goldtooth says Breath of the Wild, the dungeons are a little lacking. I agree with that, because they made so many dungeons that instead of having like, whereas a lot of times the dungeons were like 2 or 3 part puzzles, each of the dungeons in Breath of the Wild is really like a puzzle. And then there were all the other dungeons you had to do that each had one component. So some of them felt really tough, and some of them felt really, really simple. These are cool. I like these. But yeah, I definitely recommend Zelda games. Hashtag not sponsored. Hashtag would love to work on a Zelda game. Nice. I have not played Minecraft since the Batcave burned down. Yeah, I think Skyward Sword came out in a bad time because it was transitioning. Yeah. I really hated the what was it? I might be thinking of Twilight Princess now. Shoot. One of them came. Yeah. The Wiimote really made me not like Skyward Sword. Yeah, that was my big issue. I feel like Skyward Swords, it was designed well as a game, but it failed because of the hardware, because they made it a little too gimmicky. Yeah. Right, yeah. And so if you play it with, yeah, that was my big issue with it, was just using the Wiimote, because it's like the technology's kind of there, but not really, and you force me to use it. I don't like it. So, but other than that, it's a good game. I still like that. I think that might actually, it is underappreciated. I still liked it. I still played it. I played it all the way through, and I still have not played all the way through Wind Waker. So I'm still gonna have to go with Wind Waker being my least favorite of the Zelda franchise. I just don't care about that boat. Just don't care about it at all. Yeah, no. I've my friends have all played through it, and I've watched them play through it, and I've let it. As it, like, playing it, I did not enjoy it as much as the other ones, so I never finished it. I never finished it myself. I just let other people play it. I was like, here, someone else do this. I'm bored. Link is a sexy boy. It's it does not surprise me if they designed Link to be. I mean, considering who are the other Nintendo characters at the time, you had Mario and I'm trying to think who the other characters were. If The Legend of Zelda was started because someone said, "I need my hunky boys," I totally believe it. Totally believe it. I still really like that Mario only has a mustache because they couldn't tell that he had a nose. Like, what is this thing we're looking at? It's a plumber? It's like, give him a mustache. He needs a mustache. Yeah, the Yeah, Mario was supposed to be Super Jumpman, and then they gave him a mustache because they couldn't tell that he had a face. They thought he was a mushroom, so they gave him a mustache. And then one of the directors also had a mustache, and they're like, "Ah, it's Mario," and the lovable plumber was born. Guys, yeah, Brian David Gilbert. I like his stuff. Okay, so I got this weird pile of chaotic garbage that I kind of think looks like a trubbish. I should just draw the Joker and then be like, I'm not really what everyone thinks I am, and then just it'd be fine. I don't know. I'm burning out. But where are we at? What are we, like 2 hours? I think we've had a pretty long stream today. We had some arguments. We dealt with it in a proper fashion, I feel. 2 hours. 2 hours, 5 minutes. Yeah, we're doing good. I wonder what else. If I wanted to like make somebody that was the embodiment of chaos, I think I would go very bland. Wow, I don't know. I just broke this guy's neck. Just snapped it. Just snapped it off. Does Warhammer have Chaos Warriors? That was a legit question. Does Warhammer have Chaos Warriors? I don't know enough about my Warhammer lore. Gotcha. There is, I don't know. I think a lot of people, especially with the alignments charts, a lot of people think chaos is just random. I'm like, that's not really what it is. It's the opposite of order. It doesn't have to be random. It's almost nothingness is really what it should be, but with substance. And so it's a purposefully complex thing. And that's kind of the argument. there should be some order to chaos, even in itself. And I kind of like the idea that chaotic I really think chaotic should just be the dismantling of order. That's too weird. I'm not sure how to make this into a person. I don't know if my brain's just fried out or... No. I don't know. Yeah, it's got a weekend. It's got a weekend coming up, everybody. I don't know what the plans for the weekends are. It's gonna be fun. I'm really thinking about. I'm thinking about getting that Mega Man X0 collection. I think that would be really fun. I don't know. I get a lot of sleep. You got see. So this is the thing. Like people that keep telling me like sleep is for the weak. It's like no, sleep normally. And then you have lots of free time to do stuff on the weekends, which is nice. And you can get your chores done, and you can go shopping, and you can go chop wood and stuff. Yeah, I actually get a lot of sleep because I think it's important. I'm not a big person on the I will catch up on my sleep on my days off because those are my days off. I'm gonna use those. So. I'm in the opposite on my days where I have to work. Final Fantasy VII Remake. Thank you, Tim. Probably a halfling top at a tuxedo. I missed a whole bunch of the YouTube chat. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I think sleeping should be kind of equated into your schedule, and then on my days off I sleep less because I want to do stuff. So. I do lose days sometimes because of all the craziness that's going on. I don't actually lose days. I forget what day it is because I'm working every day. How can I turn this into a person? I think this one's really cool. The floating arms. I think that's a cool idea. I kind of want to do something that is the head floats, and then give it like a kind of a connected body piece. By all the what? Oh, thoughts. I thought you said don't let your head float from all the farts in it. And I was like, I don't know if that's an insult or all those brain flatulences you got getting in there and tooting up the game. No, so that's what's everybody else's plan for the weekend? What are people up to? Because plan to exist, that's a good start. You could start your own evening draws. If people want to use the... Wow, my brain is stalling out. If people want to use the Discord to set up your own drawing days, you're more than welcome to. The Aggie software is free, so anybody can make their own art pages and invite people. Yeah, if I'm around, I might jump in. You never know. I think it was yesterday. Was it the day before yesterday? I told you I lose my days. What a mile look like? Half with a top hat and a tuxedo. Okay. So Jacob asks if there is a DC comic villain that is the embodiment of chaos, and I think you're referring to the Joker, and I disagree with you. So that's totally fine. Is there actually like a chaos embodiment? Dark metal stuff. My DC lore is not as good as it once was. I have to look that up. Oddly enough, a lot of my DC lore comes from the comic movies, or the cartoon movies. I think a lot of those are really good. A lot of the Batman ones. Yeah, Red Sun, Superman, that was a cool idea. All-Star Superman, super good. That was a super good one. Oh, I know. Okay, Superman villain. Yes, I totally forgot about that guy, and I cannot say his name. I totally forgot about that. I always kind of thought of that character as being like Puck from That Is Cool. Chaos from the Hades game. That's a cool image. Mixerplix? Can't think of that guy's name. I don't know how to say it. Yeah, it's unnecessarily complicated, but that's kind of the point, and that's a good way to do it. And he just wanted to tear down Superman's jam because he's like, yep, I remember the 90s Superman energy stuff where they were trying to compete with like the Watchmen, Dr. Manhattan. He no longer blocks. I remember reading about that in one of the Wizard comics. Does anybody remember Wizard comics? Is that just me? Okay, there's some more age guessing stuff. I remember that when that came out, they're like, they gave Superman this weird blue skin and like slicked back his hair. They're like, he no longer can dodge bullets. He just absorbs them and then spits them out. And it's like, this is weird. I don't like it. What have you done to Superman? Bullets, yeah. He doesn't have to dodge. He's not faster than the speeding bullet anymore. He just absorbs them and then they leave his body. I was like, that's just stupid. Nope. He's the man of Jello, or he was for a few years, and then people realized, oh, this was a bad idea. I was never a big fan of Superman anyways. I felt like he was a little too OP. It did, yeah. That was not one of the best. He does show up in the Harley Quinn cartoon. That's funny. I still have not watched the Harley Quinn cartoon. I wonder if I should. Is it funny? Yep, that sounds terrible. That sounds awful. Oh, man. I have a bunch of the Harley Quinn comics. I think those are pretty good. They're all kind of one-offs, which I enjoy. But I am more of a Marvel reader. I have a lot of Spider-Man comics. I think those are kind of my jam. You know what? There's a lot of, for the argument for modern comics, I think serialized comics, bless you, are kind of just need to go away. I don't think it's a good medium for it anymore, because. Say that again. Yeah. Webcomics are a better system for that kind of serialized comic. But then also because we have the access to digital art and like better inking production, you can make a thicker, more standalone comic. And so I really like basically like the way Vox Machina is now printed out. It's just like here's the first 15 chapters of a book. That's great. I like that. I don't like the serialized comic idea. Yeah, Legend of Vox Machina. I think the second one is coming out. Or did the second one already come out? I just got the first one like a month ago, so it's been out for a while. I know that. Did the second one already come out? Okay. But yeah, those are super good. You know what? I think it is. It might still be in pre-order. I'm just gonna look it up. The Legend of Vox Machina. I'm not sure what you're asking. Okay. Vox Machina on Steam. Maybe it's not the Legend of Vox Machina. What's the comics? Origins. Origins is the Volume 1. Yeah, Volume 2 isn't out yet. I don't believe. Do I use terrain with D&D? Yeah, I have a whole bunch of custom built stuff. I don't use terrain per se. Like I don't build mountains. What I have is I have the. So I need to start this sentence over. Where do I want to start with this? I built a whole bunch of like hexagon pieces because I like hexagons, and I made them out of wood. And so I just you can just build them all out and set them together. And then if I need to like raise platforms, I stack them, or I bought a box of like giant tongue depressors, if you know what I'm talking about, like the big popsicle sticks. And then I just stacked those around and put walls up. It's super easy, super cheap. Yeah, that's it. Pretty great. Yeah. Yeah, having actual height on your board can be kind of a problem. So I think that's a good solution, is just really like this circle here is a tree. I don't think you actually need a tree. But there are a lot of cool model makers out there, and if that's your jam, I would love to see your setup. That would be really cool to see in the Discord. If you have a lot of terrain pieces or something. I used to be into that stuff a lot. I have a little bit of a background as a model maker. I think that's about where I'm getting with this chaos monster. We'll put a little bit of maybe just grab some. The sexy butt one, the one with the sexy rump. It's a thick chaos monster, super thick. Hey, don't judge the biceps. Superman, man, blah blah blah. Superman loses all traction when he gets the super basket weaving. Calendar man. See, that right there, I think is why I dislike serialized comics, because they feel this need to like, we don't have anything. What about Man of Calendars? Done. Throw it in the book this month. Yeah, for some reason, because Suicide Squad did the best out of all their bad movies, they're like, oh, people want to see villains, more villains. Let's do Harley Quinn, I guess. Yeah, okay, great. It's like, stop it. Stop what you're doing. Go back to your roots. The roots are better. Not well, I don't think. Actually, maybe it did. Let me look it up. Let's look it up. Yeah, and I don't think they did Suicide Squad well. Suicide Squad was basically just a 2-hour long music video, and it was not great. Ooh. It got a 78. Birds of Prey got a 78 on Rotten Tomatoes. It's not bad. That's true. Yeah, the Aquaman movie was pretty good. I agree with you. Like, it was, but it had the problem of being attached to the Avengers DC movie, whatever the hell that was. Yeah, the Justice League movie. Like, and that was the problem. So the Aquaman movie came in, and they're like, we've already assumed that you've watched these other 4 movies, and here's some characters you're supposed to care about. And it's like, I don't care about any of these people. Like, I think the Aquaman movie was probably one of the better DC movies, but it was just the only real issue I had with it was that it was supposed to be part of this huge anthology. That the anthology just wasn't good. Like, they didn't put it together well. They didn't pace it well. The Queen Lady that shows up, she kind of shows up out of nowhere. I really like Manta Ray. What the hell is the Manta Ray's guy? Black Manta? Really cool. That was great. And then I feel like that conflict got a little shanghaied into the yeah, I think that should have been its whole movie, and they just kind of crammed it into the Atlantean stuff. And yeah. You're welcome, Brian. Sorry, I kind of just went off on a movie tangent, but yeah. So that's kind of where I think the DC universe is it's. You kind of cut out there. I heard love it or hate it, and then you just disappeared. Yeah. Yeah, so I really, for Aquaman, I really enjoyed it. I really liked it. I think it's one of the best ones. And my downsides to it, I think it could have been more of a standalone movie than it was. It could have been more. That's really what I'm saying. It was definitely a standalone comparatively to the other ones, but the only one you could have. The only problem I have with Civil War is that you only really care about Captain America. That's weird. Yeah, I really care about Tony Stark. I think Civil War in itself was kind of the same issue, like too much, but they did it better. With the Justice League movie, they did not. They tried to cram it all in there, and it just was bland because of it. So, and I think that's just something that DC has always had a problem with their movies. But like I said, the cartoon movies are still really good. Like, if you're gonna get into DC anything, those are great. What was the comic that just came out? Yeah, the like Arrowverse. The Arrowverse is okay. The Daredevil is Marvel. Yeah. So that's so Ace, you just made a beautiful point that all the WB shows like Arrow and Flash and Supergirl's a different show, but it's the same core company. They do a really good job initially, and then they say, okay, now how can we make this 18 seasons? Because Supernatural was really good. And they're like, stop it, make it good, make it short. It needs to be the next Game of Thrones, yeah, exactly. And it's like, you just don't do that. So those, I always like watching those, and then I kind of lose interest after a few seasons in. Yeah, right. Rook, what's your take on Shazam? I haven't seen Shazam yet. I need to check it out. I have not. Yeah, I should probably watch that one. That's the one in DC I haven't seen yet. You haven't read them yet? Oh, man. That's how I spent the summer. They're good. Books are good. What the hell was the Injustice? There we go. The Injustice comics that just have been coming out and they made games of. Those are great comics. Those are good DC comics to get into if you're But Senpai, welcome to the chat. How's your 3D modeling going? Good. The stream is going on today, I guess. I'm slowly becoming a sleepy boy, and it's only like 1 o'clock here. I kind of want to draw Superman now. One of the first comics I ever owned was a Batman detective comic. And I was very young, and I colored it. I mean, I hope it wasn't worth any money, considering. It was and it wasn't. I'm pretty sure it was like bought at a Kmart or something in a pack of like, here's 5 detective stories from Batman, and I hope it wasn't worth it. Yeah, because it wasn't like an actual comic book, but I was like, hey, Batman's cool. Yep. I mean, I was pretty little kid. Batman. There we go. I'm gonna draw some Batman, some chunky Batman, because Batman is better. Have you seen? You think Batman would be a barbarian? That's interesting. Go run with that. Yeah, I think Artificer would be an interesting idea. Did anybody watch the Critical Role with the owlbear? That was a really good rendition of it. I don't know what he was playing though. Somebody look up. Wait a minute. Andres is gonna come here with a. No, that's totally fine. Like I said, you don't have to like things. It's totally cool. I spent for Critical Role. What I usually do is I just downloaded all the podcasts and I listen to them at work, and I think that's really nice. So if you need a good D&D podcast, that's a good one. There are a few episodes where I hear people like laughing and chuckling. It's like, okay, I gotta go on YouTube and I gotta watch this episode because it sounds like something funny is happening. But yeah, I think someone should look up how Taliesin played the Bugbear, and we should see what he did for Batman because I think that's a good place to start. At the same time, I think just straight fighter would work too. Because you could build Batman as a fighter and just make him start with like a whole bunch of money and buy whatever the hell he wants. Did the stream drop in quality? I assume the internet is being used by other people, would be my guess. So it's kind of past my normal time of the day. Yeah, but that's that. I think fighter. I would say fighter, rich fighter, with like bloodline money. Yeah, Rogue would be a good addition to it, I think. So that's actually a really good question. Does Batman make his own technology, or does he? Well, this is a question. This is a legit question. So you can say yes if you think that Batman makes his own stuff. But how much of Batman's stuff is Wayne Tech just building stuff for him? Wait. Say that again. Did you say he's a DM PC? That's that's not true. He's got a lot of plot armor. Oh, well, I already figured that out. Now I've got... I brought my bat repellent. I'm a ninja, but at the same time, I totally brought my demon repellent. And well, you didn't have demon repellent. I totally did. It was in my belt. It's in my belt the whole time. Yeah, that might be a good reason to have him be an artificer. I mean, they've done a DC D&D crossover type thing before. Shazam's a warlock. Shazam is I think he gets his powers from an evil deity. Well, not evil, but from a deity who just grants him powers when he says yeah, I think he should be. I think he should be one of the more powerful things. Batman, wouldn't he be a monk? Batman could be a monk. I could see Batman being a monk. My only issue with Batman being a monk is... Yeah, we're arguing semantics in the Discord again. I'm going to stop you. I'm going to stop you right here. We are arguing two different characters in two different fictional storylines that do cross over. Being faster. I'm going to shut that down right now. Both fast. Hermes, very fast. Flash, very fast. Great job. Batman, wouldn't he be a monk? That's not a bad place to start. I think Batman could be a good monk. Because depending on how you look at it, because someone asked, oh, would he be a rogue? Maybe, but maybe monk would be better. He does have armor, which once again would push me back towards fighter. Yeah. Maybe like a monk fighter, a brawler, with levels in ninja. Yeah, are we talking about bulletproof Batman, or are we talking about spandex Batman? Or rubber Batman? I can't move my neck. It's no good. I can only look forward. How much do you weigh? Yep, the bat nipples. Gotta get that George Clooney in there. Hold on, I gotta make this guy look like George Clooney. Ugh. I'm so Batman right now. Chill out. Yeah, why doesn't Batman have a mustache? That's what I don't know. Do you guys ever see Thomas Wayne as Batman? Oh, it's so good. Thomas Wayne as Batman is hilarious. If you guys haven't seen Flashpoint, you should check out Flashpoint. It's pretty good. My name's Batman. I shoot people. That's my whole trick. I just jump around and I shoot people with guns. Wait, Superman's son or Batman's son? Is that the one where Batman is a vampire? Oh, the communist one. Communist Superman. No, I haven't seen that one yet. I want to see it, though. You did already mention it, yeah. I just haven't seen it yet. Yep, you should not talk about it. It will be spoilers. Remember when I said we're not going to talk about that, and then you started talking about it? I think we're. It's good. It's good. I can't draw anymore. I've forgotten how to draw today, apparently. Monks have the shadow subclass, which would explain the sudden disappearance of things he does. That's cool. Yeah, see, I think monk would be a great place to start. Might start out as a monk, travel and physical training. He definitely needs more rogue artificer, crazy gadgets. See, now what if... I think you could roll Batman as just a straight monk or fighter, and then like give him access to Wayne Tech or whatever the equivalency would be, and have an artificer that builds him stuff in the form of like Lucius Snow. Lucius White? What the hell is his name? Fox. Lucius Fox. I don't know where I got Lucius Snow from. That was weird. Yeah, I think it was Morgan Freeman. Oh, man. I'm tired. I'm tired. Yeah, it's been a long argumentative day about stuff. How are people's D&D games going this weekend? Do we have anything planned? Anybody doing stuff? That's good. That's was the DM reciprocal, or was it like pulling teeth? Mm. That's good. It is always weird as a DM trying to decide like when to give information to your players, and if they like coax it out of you, it's like, how much of this should I actually give you for that role? like great job, you figured something out, but at the same time, these are my secrets. That's always a bummer. I've had a few, like, I've given people puzzles. I'm like, this will be a really fun puzzle, and then I forget that the party is full of idiots. Not like players, but like, oh yeah, you're all playing barbarians. Someone roll me an intelligence check. You guys have no idea how this door works. Wait, did you say it was a door? Yes, it did. It's literally just a door. How a door works? Smash door. Jacob says, no, the stream compels you to no sleeping. The trick is, if I leave and I'm tired, I still have a lot of other work to do, so I don't get to sleep for a while. So, I do. I have a very good work-sleep balance, and the sleep is already equated into my timeline, and so I'm going to be tired today. That's just how it is. And then I'll go to sleep later. What's not scientifically possible? I can be tired. I've been working out this morning. Remember I had to do all those push-ups? I don't need any more push-up money. I mean, I do want money, but dang it. I do need more push-up money, but I don't want to do more push-ups. I gotta figure out a balance. My push-up money balance is not great. I gotta make people. That's the goal, isn't it? Like, just making money for nothing. That's how everybody wants to live. That sounds like socialism. It's called being a child. That's a good way to put it. Yeah. I just want to live at home for the rest of my life. Get out of here. No, I don't mind working for my money. But I also don't want to do push-ups, so take that however you want. Tag it, Brian. Thank you. I keep saying Brian. I don't know why is he saying Brian. Thank you, Brian. Okay, here we go. Okay. Push-ups done. So far today, I have done 45 push-ups. Where's the question mark? What? Try to marry the images into one character. That's kind of cool. What are you looking for? Oh yeah, look at that. Look how sketchy that is. That's no good. I say as I look at Batman, who's just covered in sketches. Maybe we'll just fix that mustache. That's it. That's how it is. I'm a I was told recently I'm neutral evil. Rise unaligned. Well, my ribcage is very small compared to the rest of my body, so there's a lot of space for pectoral muscles, which seems to be very weak. I missed the... Oh, how many push-ups can you do in a row? I missed where that was starting from. I was like, where did that come from? Been training for years. I can barely do 6. Gotcha. I don't know how many push-ups I can do. We tried... I've done upwards of... What did I say? Like 10 years ago, I could do like 200 in a row. And now I get a little winded at 20. So, so I definitely need to keep working at it. But I can do 20 now, which is good. Thanks to the live stream and just generally working out. But yeah, gotta try to stay healthy. Being stuck at home has not been unfruitful, I guess. I've gotten a lot of drawing done. Gotten some workouts done. I hope I'm keeping everybody sane. Sometimes I feel like I'm not keeping myself sane. But we have had a lot of people go off the rails. I had a fun... I got to run a D&D campaign the other day. I guess with Pathfinder, but like I haven't DM'd in a while. Just because of not being able to meet up with people. But we... I'm gonna need a minute. Okay, $30. How many push-ups is that? It was 20 for 20, I think. Yeah, Brian's just torturing me with all of his money today. I'm not sure. I hope that's enough. Let's see. Let's check the backlog. What should I do for 30? I could just see how many I could do, I guess. That could be kind of fun. I don't have a pull-up bar. I might have to get one, though. Or I could do a whole bunch of curls. Let's see how many push-ups I can do. I'm going to try to go for 40. We'll see if I can do 40 in a row. I might have to take 2 sets. We'll find out. So here we go. Someone start counting. I guess you guys can't see me, though. Let's see what happens here. Move that out of the way. Okay. 15, 20, 30, 38, 39, 40. Okay, 40 is the number. Whew. I did 40. What are we doing? What did I miss? Ooh. Yes. Yeah, the SRD for Pathfinder spell list is awesome. You can search by class, by type. Pretty good stuff. Bri, I very much appreciate your support and making me do push-ups. But dang it. Yeah, I think Bri is basically just basically like owns my channel now. That's pretty impressive. Oh boy. I should have warmed up a little bit, I think, today before I did. Art warm-ups and push-up warm-ups are not the same thing. Oogway Po relationship. Okay. I guess turtles get a reverse Oogway? What do you mean by reverse? I get the Oogway Po relationship. Got some Kung Fu Panda in here. I totally love that movie. I think the Scroll of Truth is one of my favorite gags of all time. So, but what do you mean reverse? The turtles? The turtles are the ones that go to the pandas? Best rates for a vegetarian panda totem barb. I think it was a funny idea. Panda totem barb. That's weird. If you want, you can also download, hashtag not sponsored, you can download the Pathfinder, shoot, what's it called? Pathfinder SRD master list? That's not it. You can basically download all of the Pathfinder books onto your phone for free from the SRD. And then just search for characters, races, spells through that. I'm going to look that up. This is a really good resource. Whew. The Pathfinder Open Reference. Pathfinder Open Reference app is pretty cool. I like it a lot. I don't know if it's made by Paizo or just collected and put up, but super cool. Masterwork Tools, there we go. Offered by Masterwork Tools. Hashtag not sponsored, but I've used that for a long time. Normally, Oogway is the teacher, but Poe learns from the followers. But you would have to do an Oogway following a panda in reverse. Okay. Come to think of it, you were the one who told me I'm a neutral evil. I think chaotic neutral person, but eventually it's adding up. Hey, that's a good skeleton. There's no jaw. Yep. Yeah, I think D&D is struggling with their animal companion slash, like, that's why Rangers right now feel kind of underwhelming. Um, but 3.5 and Pathfinder made it a little complicated at some times because you're giving like feats and stuff to your pets. So okay. Whew, whew, whew. That's a cool idea. Yeah, basically counting it as an extra party member. I think that's a cool way to do it. Something else, yeah, something else I've done for D&D. If you're worried about your animal companions, can't talk anymore. If you're worried about your animal companions feeling kind of weak and squishy, something you can do is basically you give them stats, and or find ways to level them up in the game. I think Trinket did that. Trinket got like a bear boon. Dire bear form, yeah, I think so. And that I think is based on the Pathfinder or 3.5 leveling times for what level they were at. And if you want, you can download whole character sheets specialized in companions. Those are really helpful too. I think a few of those are on the SRD as well. Because 3.5 and Pathfinder are open source, so anybody can just go online and grab those and use those for their games, which I think is really cool. Yeah. Thank you, Dippy, for posting those. Those are great. Okay. I'm going to try to re-envision Mr. Freeze here. I feel like I should still make him like really skinny. They call me Mr. Freeze. I was born in the freezer. I was molded by the ice cubes and the penguins. I'm a lord of penguins with my umbrella of doom. Just have Batman fight all of his minions at once. All of his enemies at once. I'm quite the jokester. Mr. P. They call me the Happy Foot. I've also used some of those companion character sheets for like, what was it? Jump Rope played a dinosaur druid once. That was kind of fun. So we had to build out all the character sheets for every dinosaur she wanted to turn into. So we had all these different character sheets. Like, okay, here's what you are if you're a T-Rex. Here's what you are if you're a raptor. Because we just couldn't keep track of all the stats all over the place. So that was fun. Yeah. Oh, shoot. You know what I just did? Let's look at this. I accidentally just drew Mysterio. It's a fishbowl. Oh, summoner class is so much fun. It's a Fey companion, which is really cool. There's a... Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're a snake monster and your body is a snake and your head is a face, no one's going to sell you stuff. I don't know what you're buying, to be totally honest, but... Like, if that abomination just, like, wiggled into my my shop, I would just, I don't know, burn the place down. Just be like, nope, no thank you. Take that, spider bat. See, that was my thought. Like, I'd like to rent a horse. And it's like, are you going to eat my horse? No. No, I'm not going to eat the horse. Please don't eat the horse. Oh boy, everything's gone. I'd like to use disguise self on myself. Your body is a snake. What if I just, like, coil it up into the shape of a body? Roll me the dice. Roll the dice. It's like those giant monsters from... Totally not a snake monster. Definitely a person. Definitely not a snake. Depending on Yuan-Ti's buying things, it depends on how knowledgeable the shopkeeper is on Yuan-Ti. Yeah, I think that's really really the point. Like, if you're in a Yuan-Ti in, like, town and people know that, that's one thing. But most of the time, like, really my argument for not playing the monstrous Yuan-Ti is that you have to be playing a campaign where that's normal for that to be normal. Otherwise, if you just decide, you know, if you're in a dwarven city and someone's just like, I'm going to be a snake person. It's like, well, are snake people normal in this area? Or are you picking something that's just going to be wildly inappropriate for the setting? Spider bat. And that's something that I've dealt with a lot of my characters. It's basically one of the drawbacks for playing a monstrous race is that you have to either be willing to accept the fact that normal society won't accept you, or you're playing a monstrous campaign. And if you're playing a monstrous campaign, that's totally fine, and it's not something to deal with. And in that situation, I've done the opposite, where if you're all playing monstrous races and someone's a human, then they get looked at funny. Like, you're walking through town and people are like, who's that Normo dude over there that's hanging out with the Minotaur? Say that again? You don't think they would say the normal person is the human? That's fair. That's a fair correction. But yeah, and so that's just really, I think part of playing a monstrous race is that when dealing with, especially like cities that aren't designed for that, that's part of your character. Like, you are monstrous, you have to find a way to deal with that. And I really like doing that with Minotaurs, because Minotaurs were classically supposed to be anti-human monsters. They ate people. And so I like bringing that into the game. If you're playing a Minotaur, and you go anywhere, people should have that in their mind. Like, that should be the general thing, not like, oh, that guy's probably fine. It's like, no, these are backwater country folk that have never seen a Minotaur before in their life. How are you going to deal with that as a player? And I think that's really fun. So, can I have a horse? But yeah, I think Naga kind of fall into that monstrous version of, or the abomination Yanti. I think Naga kind of fit in there. If you want to play a Naga, which is why I didn't make a Naga video. What? Yeah, you guys need to sleep. Everybody needs to sleep. Sleep is important. It's healthy. Do it. Sleep is not for the weak. As someone who has been a architect student and a master's degree student, get your sleep. When you don't sleep, your everything you do kind of suffers. So they very much in college tried to work it out. Like, you don't need sleep, you just need to work. You need to work more. And it's like, that makes productivity so bad. So definitely get your sleep. Keep your health up. Because of not sleeping, or from being an architect student? Yeah. Yeah, high stress and no sleep is a bad combination. So please stay healthy. Please get some sleep. This is a weird bat spider. Should all of its spider legs be wings? Is that what should happen here? So it's just got 4 sets of wings. Tarantula hawk. Oh, a tarantula hawk wasp. That could be an interesting thing to look up. Yeah, I like Bryce said that anyone from a small town might see a monster race PC as being scary. You expect to see between different children might like you, but adults will probably mistrust you. Yeah, I do that with a lot of the races, though. I whatever race you pick, I try to find a way to incorporate that into the story of the world. And so when people pick like really generic races, I generally try to not focus on them when they're in towns. Because it's just like, yeah, you're in town, no one seems to notice you, whatever, it's done. But if you pick like a drow, it's like, oh, people around here haven't seen drows. Or some people actually really like drows, and so they might seek you out because of it. And I think there's fun ways to kind of mix into that. You have, what is it, in Pathfinder there are some of the characters in the books have little snippets like, oh, if there's an elf in the group, this person will just like shamelessly hit on them because they really like elves. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of funny. So there's fun stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. Like, do you have a horse-sized room for my centaur friend? No, I don't. Why would I have that? Get out of here. See, in that situation, if you have a human centaur city, that would make perfect sense to have a bed there. Yeah, we drew a lot of stuff today. We had a long stream. It was good. I think I am going to have to call it, though. I'm going to get some lunch. I probably shouldn't have been doing all those push-ups without lunch. Food is important. Eat your food, get your sleep, focus on your art, have a wonderful time. Get those Legend of Zelda games. Hashtag not sponsored. I might get that. Avoid gun swords at all costs. I might get that. I'm gonna have to talk to some people. Maybe I'll get it next week. I'm not sure. I want to play that Mega Man game. That sounds super fun. But thanks again, everybody, for a wonderful week of streaming, having fun, drawing, talking about stuff. Make sure you keep your dice on the table. Make sure you keep your players happy. Sounds like we do have some conflicts, which is okay, but you know that's what D&D is about. It's about talking with your friends and making a story that's really cool. So don't be scared to talk about stuff. We'll see you next week. Maybe we'll get some commissions going, or maybe we'll do some more. We might have to find a way to do like an actual Discord game of some kind. I think that could be really fun. I know I wanted to do like a Patreon sponsored game, so that might be the first stage of trying that. Finding one or two people that want to play a game. We could do a Pictionary game. That would be fun. We'll work on that. We'll work on that. We'll try to figure that out. So thanks everybody for watching. If you haven't joined the Discord, join the Discord. If you haven't checked out any of the latest videos, the Yonti video did drop yesterday. Check that out. Like, comment, share, subscribe. We just hit 2,500 people today. Amazing job. Amazing job. Let's see if we can catch up to Joe Cat so I can start making fun of him in his chat. Still, I don't think he knows who I am, and that's the best part. So, I'll see everybody later. Have a wonderful weekend.